so far, Aeon hasn't changed a lot about the ending. That's a little bit sad. You feel the icy chill of the okay, I said it too early. I jinxed it. You feel the icy chill of the cosmos as the swirling haze envelops you. This distortion looks no different than the others you have witnessed. You feel the same biting cold. You see the same vague shapes and hear the same sounds of the past. But the fact that this distortion is here in this place and time can only mean one thing. This is your chance to correct the greatest mistake ever made in the history of Galarian. The haze swirls around you, but your keen eyes are able to make out a single figure, a woman. She's standing on the stone floor of a dungeon, and her eyes are closed in concentration. Suddenly, she raises her arms, and the walls begin to shake. The floor collapses, flooding the distortion with purple light, the light of the very first rift. You step forward resolutely, but the distortion eludes you. It moves away, staying just out of reach. You feel the dispassionate gaze of countless aeons, the gaze of eternity itself. What you're about to do will change the future. Correcting the world wound will create a new course for the flow of reality. What will it be like? And who will find themselves without a place in this new cosmic order? Ooh. Are you ready to rewrite history? I will change the past. I will prevent the greatest crime ever committed on Galarian, no matter what the cost. As if in response to your vow, the distortion opens. Its cold haze envelops you, transporting you to the distant past.
The flaming fist.
To the time when the world wound did not exist. Okay, take it back. Whoa. All the way back in time? Wait, will I not fight a Rilu then? Ooh. Is it a brand new dungeon?
We march ahead.
Inquisitors. Wow. Aeon gets a brand new dungeon? Are there enemies though?
Our path leads on.
Cetre, we don't need to fight. I was the one who warned the guards about the ritual Arilu Vorlash is about to perform. We're on the same side. My name is Opon. Don't you remember me? Cetre Devamai's face twists into a grimace of disgust. We will never be on the same side, spellcaster. Please stop, I beg you. Don't force me to defend myself. We should be fighting Arilu, not each other. I don't know who you are, and I don't care. Please help me talk some sense into him. Stay where you are, stranger. I will deal with you after I cut this traitor down. I cut down this traitor to Sarkoris. But they have... So I shouldn't change this. Okay, wait a moment. We have to... Okay, everyone. I'm the True Aeon, and you guys are the Axiomites, alright? I need your help. What do you think we're supposed to do here? So they are criminals because they're spellcasters. So I shouldn't change anything about this part then. Like, this is not injustice. Then I should not change anything about this part. Right? Like, everything is according to how it should be. I only have to stop Arilu. But we have to change the past, so maybe we have to stop them. I will not allow this injustice to happen. Injustice? You have no right to stand in the way of the Threshold's first hunter. I decide what is just. The Stern Hand. I know that the laws of Sarkoris are strict when it comes to spellcasters, but do they permit you to kill mages if they are acting peacefully and offer no resistance? I know your story, Cetre Devamai. I know how much you had to sacrifice for the good of Sarkoris, but I must ask you not to let your personal animosity eclipse your sense of justice. My gauntlet? I thought it was lost forever. You may be right, stranger. Perhaps I am being too harsh. These mages should not be executed without a fair trial. Perhaps? Perhaps you're being too harsh? You're such a hypocrite. You've already to execute me on sight just because I happen to practice arcane magic. Yes, I know magic, so what? I know something that you do not, but that doesn't make me a criminal. Magic may be a weapon, but so is a sword. No one should be punished simply for owning a weapon, especially if they never used it to hurt anyone. You are unjust, and so are your laws. They have outlived their usefulness, and now we're standing on the brink of disaster. I can show all the relics I have restored through the storyteller. I know your story, Opon. I know that you have never raised your hand to strike another, and you've never wanted anyone to come to harm. But can you say the same about other spellcasters? What will happen if all the magic users in Threshold are suddenly set free? Are you prepared to take responsibility for all the crimes they might commit? My ring. I never thought I'd see it again. You're not wrong, stranger. It pains me to admit it, but I believe magic should be restricted. Cetre, I'm begging you, help me present my request to the clan council. Help me change the laws of Sarkoris to justice, so justice can prevail. I'll see what I can do. We will talk after we stop that witch Vorlash. Thank you, and thank you too, stranger. This will be the dawn of a new era in Sarkoris. Can you tell me who you are? Where did you come from? What is your name? No, we're not going to tell. Like, an Aeon does not tell. My name is Tesselhoff Burfoot. I am here to stop Irilu Vorlash, and that is all you need to know. No. I'm a stranger, and I would prefer to keep it that way. Very well, I suppose you have the right to remain anonymous. Still, I'm glad you found yourself here in this turbulent hour. Kuramzadeh? Come to me, my minions. Rip this scum apart. Tear them limb from limb in the name of the great Daskari. Take the guard and mage alive. We'll give them to that worthless witch as a reward for her efforts. I have to fight him again? Oh my god, really? Oh no, really? From all the bosses in the game, they put Kuramzadeh in here? Oh shit. Okay, he is not mythic, that's true. Still, I'm going to silence him. I'm still gonna silence him. Whoa, what was that? That was a crit. Let's give invulnerability to Sela. Okay. And heal Sela.
I'm all right.
Are you? Oh, I can't go there. Okay. Shit.
Don't worry about me.
Okay, let's do a quick heal. Okay, Kuramzadeh is down. So we kill Kuramzadeh here? Interesting. That's a good decision. You save... You see, I killed Kuramzadeh in the past, so you guys don't have to deal him on your playthroughs. You see the change I'm doing? This is not the first time this happens. That after battle, Vol'jif, for no reason, starts attacking me with his bombs. I had this on my first playthrough as well. I'm gonna report this, because this has been a known bug. For some reason, and this has happened to me on multiple playthroughs now, certain characters will start... What happened with my kineticist? What was that exactly? Will start attacking my main character after combat, even though they are not confused, nor are they under any effect. And they just switch to their allies and keep attacking. It's not just the bomb though. Other things do this as well. It's really annoying. Yeah, the same thing happened. Oh yeah, it hexes. Yeah, the hexes. Probably that's it, the hex. There we go. If you had Ember with autocast hex, it happens with her too. Abilities can be stopped if they're already using it. So the target, unless the target, if their target dies, they retarget whoever is left. Yeah, but it shouldn't switch to your allies. That's still a problem. Like, that's still a pretty big issue, right?
I will guide us.
Ooh. So, but that, yeah, that makes sense, but it's still a pretty big problem. Especially if you just accidentally start dispelling my main character instead of the enemy.
Something wrong?
Search for the beauty with your heart, not your eyes.
With that said, though, let me remove the rings from Voljiv. So now he only has one. I'm going to give him the hammer buff. And now he's going to have bonus 2 attacks as well.
My tail is restless.
I think. Maybe not. We'll see. It didn't seem to work with bombs. We'll see. It should work. And Emosi Travisi. Yeah, he just likes it.
This is my kind of work.
Godspeed.
Yeah, this is the threshold before it got destroyed, which is, I think it's like a mage prison, right? I think that's what the threshold is. I'm not sure. Or is it not? What is the threshold exactly? Uh-oh.
This is where it is going to happen. This is where I will perform the ritual. I will sow my spirit to the essence of the abyss and see the world around me change. Each stitch will bring Galarian closer to the abyss. And once I am done, I will do the same to your soul.
This is amazing. Like, the Aeon completely changes the ending. It's awesome.
Welcome, Aeon from the future.
How does
I
she
have been
know?
awaiting your arrival, and you did not disappoint me.
How did she know?
A researcher must be particularly resilient in the face of mistakes, incorrect hypotheses, and failed experiments. You are my future mistake. I do believe that I will feel some regret for ending your current life, but you can rest assured that such sentiments will not stop me.
You meet her, but you never talk to her really in Act 3. You know me?
I learned the answers to those questions a long time ago. The week before I was captured, someone paid a visit to my laboratory. They appeared out of nowhere, said a few words, and then vanished without a trace. It was a most curious encounter. And it is even more curious now that I have discovered the truth of your origins. You are from the future, and have traveled back in time to stop my research.
I wish her portrait would change here.
You
To
are
see
a
human
failed
Arilu.
experiment. I merged the shards of my son's soul and the soul of a mortal man together to create you. But it does not matter. I will correct my mistake. I will correct you.
I know everything you've done has been for the single purpose of saving your child.
Yes. And no. Even if I could have brought back my son, I wouldn't have stopped at that. I wouldn't have been satisfied. Not after what I'd gone through. Not after the things I'd learned. I want to become stronger, and I wish the same for my child. I don't want to be afraid of anything. It is not the dogs of Threshold that stand against me, nor is it Sarkoris itself. It is the very laws of a world governed by death, weakness, and parting. This Nahindrian crystal will do more than create a rift. I must find a way to use it for another purpose. To free my son from the forces that make us weak and mortal.
Interesting that she doesn't have an aura here. I think that's an oversight, because as far as I know, she has been already summoning demons and such. So she already should have the... And she has already struck a deal. So she should have the aura here, I think.
And I know now that I will succeed. But I wish to know what you think. Do you enjoy living in a world where your entire life cycle has been predetermined? Everything from your birth to what will happen to your soul after you die has been decided for you? Or do you want to be the master of your own destiny? Do you want a world that you can change? A world that offers you the chance to be anything you want?
I was content with my life as a mortal. This power is a burden to me, not a reward.
So you can't see past the end of your nose. A pity. But then I suppose it does not matter.
Wow. Yeah, like, later on, Demon Arilu, you kind of feel bad about. Human Arilu, no remorse. Why did you call me a mistake?
I am going to pour what is left of my son's soul into the soul of a common mortal. They say death and the judgment of Pharasma purges the soul of everything it once was in life. But this cannot be true. I have researched this subject meticulously and have collected enough evidence to prove that supernatural beings born from mortal souls can recall their past. Sometimes partially, and sometimes fully.
No, like, that's the thing. Like, Demon Arilu says, you know, she really just wanted to do that for her son. But this one, no, like, it's almost just feels like an excuse. Because she wants power. She wants to change the laws of the universe. So here you can definitely feel that she is more ambitious and power hungry.
Yet your presence here, your desire to resist me, proves that my hopes did not come true. The memory of my child has failed to awaken. There is nothing familiar about you. Nothing at all.
Yeah, like, and the arrogance that, you know, that she can change a being who became an Aeon. The arrogance of that. Are you going to merge the remnants of your son's soul with mine? Why do you want to harm me then?
If a hypothesis is proven wrong, it needs to be rejected. But the research process does not stop there. That is all I can tell you right now.
You're going to maim your soul. When you open the world wound, you're going to doom yourself.
Quite possibly. I find it difficult to argue about things that have not happened yet. But you are here, trying to stop me in your past and not your present. And that makes me think I may not be doomed after all.
Okay.
Then let us end this. As you can see, I have other important matters to attend to.
Well, you are breaking the laws of Sarkoris and of Golarion itself. It is my duty as an Aeon to stop you.
When I reach my goal, I will be above all laws. But until then, I will have to deal with those like you.
Wow, like me?
I hope you weren't planning on catching me by surprise. When you visited my laboratory, your power surprised me and gave me some ideas. I think I managed to reproduce some of your mythic abilities. When my demonic allies are in proximity to the Nahindrian crystal, they will experience power beyond measure. I will be interested to see if it surpasses yours. Death does not have to be the end. I have spent years trying to prove it, and I will not relent in my efforts. This experiment may fail, but that simply means I need to make further adjustments. I'll try again. I am still alive. I still have time. You, the current you, will have to die, but only to surrender the soul you share with my son. I will correct my future mistake. I will double-check my calculations. Things will be different, more precise. I will turn the world upside down if I must.
I think she's trusting the fact that if she exists in the future, then that might also mean that she is supposed to destroy me here, so that her future actually exists. So, you know, like if you're following at least the, you know, the... I'm not even sure how to call it. The paradox of, you know, like then time is infinite and it's always supposed to happen. Everything is supposed to happen the same way. In which case, like, she should be winning here. But, as an Aeon, like, I am supposed to change time, so I guess I am beyond all that.
I promise.
Ooh. The music. Okay. Okay, like, really? Like, Arilu, she's gonna be crushed like a bug. Okay, just in case. Guarded heart. That should have been a swift action. Yep. She's been crushed. Like, she's been like, okay, you see that blood splatter? That's all that remains of her. Oh my god, 267 crit. Ooh. I don't know, I guess I guess human Arilu is not as scary as demon Arilu. Oof.
You are stronger than I could have anticipated. As your creator, I should be proud. To be defeated by the one I have imbued with power. Is there any higher praise? But I'm tired. You won't hear me pleading. Let us finish this experiment here and now.
By the power of the Aeon, I hereby deliver your sentence. You will die now, and your death will prevent the creation of the world wound. You may say your final words. Oof. You can choose not to kill her. Interesting.
Then here are my final words. I regret nothing.
Wow. She's really remorseless at this point. The icy touch of the cosmos chills you to the bone. The cold permeates your body down to your very soul. Irilu Vorlash is dead, and your right to exist perished along with her. She will no longer be able to create you in your current existence as a vessel for two souls. She will not imbue you with your mythic power. Perhaps somewhere a mortal will soon be born with a soul that is identical to yours. But that person will not be you. Man. You also remove yourself from existence by killing her. Like, that is the ultimate Aeon choice, that you still go for the lawful balance of the universe. Even though you even destroy yourself. A thought comes unbidden into your mind. You stopped the Rielu and carried out the sentence pronounced by the universe. And in so doing, committed a crime against the cosmic order. The world has changed. It has reverted to its original state before the war against the Abyss, before the creation of the World Wound, before Irilu Vorlash broke any laws. Wait, we actually broke... Wait. She ceased to be guilty the moment you executed her sentence. So killing her is actually the bad choice here? The world around you fades into darkness, but you sense the approval of the Aeons. No, they approve. They have watched you from among the stars, and though you cannot see them, you know they are near. Everything has happened as it should. You have fulfilled your role as judge, and now you have one final duty to perform. You must now face the judgment of the gods themselves. Cease to exist. Whoa. By administering justice, I broke the law and invalidated my own existence. I will soon depart, but you shall remain, and will be teleported to where you belong. Oh. Cease to exist, but leave a memory of yourself, or cease to exist. I mean, a true Aeon would cease to exist without a memory. Oh, this is tough because, like, if I'm a true Aeon, I should just cease to exist. But I'm... But how do you leave a memory? Like, they never get to meet you. So there can be no memory of you. Like, if you never get, like... Cease to exist, but leave a memory of yourself. The darkness surrounds you, embracing you like a long-lost friend. The cold of the cosmos fades away, and you realize that eternity awaits you. Only tranquility remains, for you have earned your repose. You're leaving the world behind a better place. Of course, it is still full of injustice, but that is no longer your responsibility. Your task is finally complete. You will be remembered by those who remain. This thought illuminates your mind like a final ray of light. Then darkness falls. That's such a cool... So far, this is by far my favorite ending. so far. Life and death, destiny and great deeds, answers to mysteries, the search for one's true path. The mind can comprehend all of these, and then such concepts can be written down as a sequence of formulas, a series of lines, a chain of thought. Still, a moment always comes when it is time to wrap up, to reach a conclusion, to put a period at the end of the last sentence. But what conclusion can one draw if the experiment never took place? The world wound was never opened. The demon lords never assembled their armies and never betrayed each other. No more than usual, at least. Sarkoris continued to exist, and Irilu Vorlash never bestowed mythic powers upon anyone. To the end of their days, Setre, Devimai, and Opan loathed each other, but their mutual enmity did not stop them from laying down a system of rules and regulations in Threshold Fortress that satisfied both the mages and their wardens. Having traveled back in time, you convinced the mage Opan and the witch hunter Setre to work together. Those rules were soon adopted by all of Sarkoris. The persecution of mages ceased, and the number of crimes involving spellcasters dwindled. The demon lord Descari sought out ways to invade Golarium, which he so deeply despised, but without the world wound, his efforts were all for naught. The demon lord Nocticula took little interest in his fruitless attempts. She had her share of concerns in Alushanira, where she had discovered that a cell of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth had been operating in her city. Galfrey inherited the throne after her father. She was crowned queen when she was 40 years old, already a wise and experienced ruler. Galfrey was beloved by the common folk and the aristocracy alike, and her reign is considered to mark the beginning of the golden age of Mendevian chivalry. Prior to ascending the throne, she married one of her knights, with whom she later had 3 children. The queen died in her bed at a ripe old age, surrounded by family and friends. Well, she was a wise ruler. Remember, we changed the past as well. These are no longer the same people that we met throughout the game. So at this point, the world would never happen, so Galfrey had a completely different life. Canabras, a small town on the Sarkorian border, was so unremarkable that it could only be found on the most detailed of maps. The only jewel in its humble crown was an old temple of Iomade run by a wise old man. Prelate Halran, a paragon of duty, purity, and compassion. Holy shit. Aeon even redeems Halran. Irabeth Tarblade, daughter of the common Mendevian soldiers, plied the family trade and in time earned the title of knight. She never started a family, instead living a life of solitude. As her subordinates would joke when out of earshot, she was married to her duty. The runaway from Nidal by the name of Anevia found no happiness in the River Kingdoms. She perished in obscurity, killed by one of the many beasts and cutthroats inhabiting that restless region. It just shows though, like, yes, you changed the world, but you doomed a bunch of people by an Aeon, as an Aeon. Like, yes, you changed the world wound, but all these people's lives have been completely changed. The storyteller, as old as the tales he collected, continued his travels across Golarion and occasionally beyond. He knew that out there somewhere there was one story he would never find, his own. In the absence of the world wound, there was no need for Sela to journey across the entire continent. She remained in the south, fighting evil and helping those in need just as tirelessly. Among Sela's war stories, there were a couple of new, particularly fanciful tales. You erase yourself from the timeline, but on your final impulse, you decided to allow your companions to retain memories of you. Like the one about a massive demon lord attacking a city, after which Sela and a certain brave comrade of hers fell down into underground caves and fought their way out. Whenever she told that story, she would always add, "You don't have to believe me," and her eyes would always be tinged with sadness. Without any demonic intervention, Voljev grew up in an ordinary human family in Canabras. The moment he came of age, he declared, Nobody understands me here, and departed for Nerosian, where he joined a thief gang and soon after was sent to prison for the first time. His jailers were profoundly confused about a phrase Voljif would repeat every now and then. I'll tell ya, if the chief was here right now, you lot would let me out right quick. Ah. In Keonan, a strange, pensive girl was born, the latest in a long line of spellcasters. Once she came of age, she left her home to preach to the Golarians about kindness and mercy. In time, an order of knights errant formed around her, every one of them taking a vow of poverty. In her preachings, she would often mention her mentor, a mysterious knight who had apparently taught her everything she knew. There were those who believed this knight was an angel of some kind, or even a deity that watched over this woman. Others interpreted the knight as a purely metaphorical figure. Man, this is a sad ending. Like, it makes me a little bit emotional how you're just removed from existence. Like, after, you know, 100+ hour playthrough, especially if this would be your first playthrough, this ending is really emotional, I think. The tireless explorer, scientist, and future rector of all Absalom's institutes of learning at once traveled around the world as she compiled the encyclopedia Galarianica. Because of her experiments, she was banned from entering several cities and even one small kingdom. There were times when she stopped dead in her tracks and rubbed her nose furiously, trying to remember something or someone very important to Galarian. Alas, her attempts were futile. It doesn't even matter what quests you've done here. That's the sad part about this. It doesn't matter what you do in the game, because it doesn't change this. Like, none of it happens. That's the sad part. Everything you've done in the game with this ending, none of it matters. Like all servants of Shaylan, Sociel Vanek, a village priest from Endoran, had a passion for art, but his paintings never became anything greater than the unsophisticated works of an amateur. The sweet aroma of the wine from his family vineyards, however, was famous throughout the countryside. One day, a Mendevian engineer by the name of Aaron Kerr, who was passing through on business, had a sip of the wine and was so delighted by its taste, or by something else perhaps, that he took up permanent residence in the village. Sociel's single truly striking painting was a portrait of a general at the head of an army of knights. No one could ever determine who these warriors were, or who was the person leading them into battle. According to Sociel, the scene had come to him in a dream. In a world without the World Wound, the Order of the Godclaw was never founded, but Regil the Renge nevertheless reached the highest ranks of the Hell Knights. He dedicated his life to the struggle against chaos and evil. The Hell Knight resisted the effects of the bleaching incredibly well. When asked what it was that allowed him to live for so long, he replied cryptically, "The commander has not released me from my service, or given me the order to die." Man, this is the best. Oh, this is so epic. That is so epic. Holy shit. Oh my god, this is amazing. Wow. 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 This is so good. That's amazing, man. Wow. Regil. Greybor decided to stay with his wife and their daughter Mora, forever renouncing his dangerous adventures in the past that had not been. After a long and steady life, he became a gray-haired elder with a harsh countenance and eyes filled with silent yearning. Oh, and Erilu comes here as human.
And what of me, the writer of these words? The half-demon witch known as the architect of the world wound. I was defeated. I fell at the hand of the one I was planning to transform.
Pharasma is a criminal,
in a future
holy
that
shit.
did not come to pass. My experiment ended in failure before it had even begun. Which means that I died an innocent, before I could commit any sins against the universe. I have recounted the story of my life for you, Pharasma, Lady of Graves. Not only of my life, but of the Commander's also. I believe the tale of such an illustrious figure would pique even a goddess's curiosity. Now you know everything. I await your verdict, goddess.
Silence hangs over the boneyard. The Lady of Graves is weighing her decision.
Flaming fist.
And it seems the entire universe is holding its breath, awaiting her pronouncement. Who would dare to break a silence so absolute? An Aeon wouldn't intervene. But I'm really curious what happens. And she has a glow for some reason. In the void of the cosmos, your consciousness coalesces into a single whole. Oblivion recedes. Your mythic powers are not entirely gone, and they entitle you to a say in this trial. You actually don't change anything here. It's just you can tell Pharasma what she should do. But we can punish Arielu as much as possible. I mean, I am an Aeon. Like, I guess me as a mythic figure, like my Aeon self is probably part of the cosmos. Like it becomes timeless. I became timeless. I don't exist on the mortal plane, but as an Aeon, I still exist, I think. Like as an Aeon, not as a mortal. I appeal to your sense of justice. The world the gods created exists in a delicate balance. Arielu Vorlash attempted to overturn that balance, which represents a direct challenge to you, Lady of Graves.
The laws of the universe have existed for millennia. They are incontrovertible. But even they allow the decider of fate some degree of influence over the verdict. You wish to wreak great evil upon the world, but you were thwarted by the life of the one you had doomed to unbeing. Your hands are clean, not by your own doing, but merely as a confluence of circumstance. Your soul is as dark as it ever was.
If you plead for her, I think Arielu just goes to the Maelstrom. So actually, so you don't really send her to heaven or anywhere. She just goes to the Maelstrom, I think.
And even the one whom you harmed most of all now appeals to my sense of justice. I shall send you to the Abyss, plane of pain and fury, suffering and privation. That which you have done to others will now be done to you. So be it.
Oof. Oh, with this ending, you can actually send her to heaven? She doesn't deserve that.
Now you, the mortal who has risen so high as to stand boldly in the presence of the goddess of fate. You have done the impossible. And you will be remembered as long as this universe exists. You have earned your peace.
Wow. This is such a good ending.